Steve, Corja, today we're going to go back over Máit Cónaithe, where I live, or Mochanter, my area. Dús, cén cináltí atá agat. So cináltí, sin type of house. So our céad car one. So cén cináltí atá agat, tá car one agam. Árasan, cén cináltí atá agat, tá árasan agam. Teach róte, so sin an igloo, tá igloo agam. Teach scote, detached house. Teach lascote, and the la anseo gives it away, semi-detached. Teach tuha, tuha comes from fuin tuha, so a country house. Teach fermia, a farmhouse. Teach sheoladh, so if you're in the Ballymoor, teach sheoladh is a terraced house. Teachín, a cottage. Teachín tuha, cottage fuin tuha in the countryside. Teachín fermia, a cottage on a farm. Tithe so glúiste, so mobile home. Cushlán, castle. Pobble, tent. Agus bungalow, bungalow. So as you're trying to learn these words and to remember them, the easiest way will be to make your own flashcards. So even if they're just on a piece of paper. Agus cur an Gaeilge so put the Irish on them, and then bí géisteacht leis an pharbaíocht. Try and listen to the pronunciation of them. So let's go again. Car one, árasan, teach róte, teach scote, teach lascote, teach tuha, teach fermia, teach sheoladh, teachín, teachín tuha, teachín fermia, tithe so glúiste, Cushlán, pobble, bungalow. So cén cináltí atá agat, and you would say tá teach fermia agam. Or a more usual way of being asked where you live would be cá bhfuil tú i do chónaí. Where do you live? And in Irish we have two choices. So we can start with Cónaín mé, I live, or Tá mé in mo chónaí, I live. And both are perfect. Neither one is better than the other. So Cónaín mé, in is I, and then you name whatever house you have. So Tá mé mo chónaí I, and again whatever type of house you have. And we're going to ignore this last column for now. So let's give these a go. So Cónaín mé I bungalow. And you may remember when we put a before something, creates the need for an uru. And the uru was the little letter we put before our new noun that we're using here. So if it began with B, what was the uru? So it was an M. So I mungalow. And this is just to make it easier to say. So Cónaín mé I mungalow. If we had a word that began with a vowel, instead of the uru coming before this word, it attached itself to the end of I. So I then became in. So Cónaín mé in árasan. I live in an apartment. Cónaín mé I teach lascote. I live in a semi-detached house. And what was the uru rib T? D a bhí agan. So I teach lascote. It's only the immediate word after the I that takes the uru. So Cónaín mé I teach tuha, country house. Cónaín mé I teach fermia, farmhouse. And again you can use Cónaín mé or you can use Tá mé in mo chónaí. And it's the I that causes the uru to happen. So Tá mé in mo chónaí I mungalow. Tá mé mo chónaí in árasan. Tá mé mo chónaí I teach lascocha. Táimid mo chónaí é Doc tútha. Táimid mo chónaí é Doc fermia. So céir de do freagra. What's your answer? Cá bhfuil tú I do chónaí. And scríobh sheoladh, write it down. So see, does it need an uru? If so, céir de, what is it? Agus an column an seo, if you wanted to add an adjective onto your house, you would put it after the house or after the noun that you're describing. So Conan me I bungalow biog. I live in a small bungalow. And again, you can see here Níl uru an seo, where Níl an I riv biog. So it's the I that causes the uru to happen. Doesn't continue with the whole sentence. So biog is going to stay as it is. Táimid I mo chónaí in Orasan Moor, big apartment. Conan me Doc lascocha aráiste. So a semi-detached that's orange. Conan me Doc tútha bui, a yellow country house. Agus táimid I mo chónaí Doc fermia Gurrum. So a blue farmhouse. So má sibh. So ná déan darmid, don't forget to scríobh isteach de freagra. Cá bhfuil tú I do chónaí. Conan me, or táimid mo chónaí put in the house. And if you have another adjective to add to it, pop it in afterwards. A cá bhfuil an teach seo. Where is this house? So an bhfuil sé faoin tútha, countryside. No an bhfuil sé sa chathair in the city or sa bhaile mór in a big town. So again, cá bhfuil tú I do chónaí, where do you live? Faoin tútha, countryside, or sa chathair sa bhaile mór. So let's add that to our oberty. Cá bhfuil tú I do chónaí. Again, we have the exact same choices. Conan me, I live, or táimid I mo chónaí, I live. And then we usually have I, but when we're talking about faoin tútha, I put in a big X, níl I an seo. Can anybody guess why? So we wouldn't have I and faoin together because both of these are réamhacha, they're little prepositions. So they wouldn't go together. So faoin tútha is going to take over. So Conan me, faoin tútha, nice and éasca. Táimid I mo chónaí and this one was chathair or a bhaile mór. What happens when we put I before a noun again? So we have chathair, chathair is going to take a G, or bhaile mór. It's in a big town. So let's go through that again. Conan me, faoin tútha, no I this time. Táimid mo chónaí chathair or bhaile mór. So cá de do freagra, what is your answer? Cá bhfuil tú I do chónaí, where do you live? So scríobh isteach de freagra. Má sibh, we keep going. So urlúir, cén urlúir é seo? So it's the teach seo, we have an chéad urlúir, an talún an seo, chéad urlúir, dara urlúir, agus hús an seo tan áiléir agin. So we have an chéad urlúir, an dara urlúir, agus an áiléir tá hús an seo. Agus tá garage the hús an seo hamas, so tá sé an mór, very big house. A céir díd na seomraí sa teach. An cuimhin live, do you remember? Let's see. So our céad cheann, cén seomra é seo, agus seo é an áiléir. So áiléir. Cén seomra é seo? Seo an seomra bia. Dining room, seomra bia. Cén seomra é seo? Seo an seomra lapa, or an seomra cuddalta. Cén seomra é seo? Seo é an cistinn. Cén seomra é seo? Seo é an seomra sí. These are nice and éasca. Let's see on cuivan live na foca. Do you remember the words? So céard é seo. Bedroom. Seomra lapa or seomra cuddalta. Céard é seo. Seomra bia. Má sibh, seomra bia. Céard é seo. Kishtin. Kishtin. Cén seomra é seo. Seomra sí. Seomra sí. Agus tá seomra lapa agan. Tá seomra folca agan an seo. Gá seomra folca. Agus tá hala stóca an seo. So hala. So má sibh, so if you wanted to ask someone, do you have a dining room in the house? How would we say that? We'd have to say an will seomra bia agat I do theach. And an will means is there. So is there a seomra bia in your house? Tá would mean there is. Níl, there is not. So let's see, do you remember na focail seo? Do you remember these words? So an will seomra sí sa teach. An will kishtin sa teach. An will áiléir sa teach. An will seomra lapa sa teach. An will seomra bia sa teach. So tá go leor focail new an seo. We have loads of new words. And before we end our lesson for today, let's go back an focail to live. So Coney hús an seo means to live. At the minute, níl sé in ein amsir. It's not in any tense. But we need it in the amsir caite, amsir lórach, present, agus amsir óisteanach, future tense. Do you remember how to change it? It's amsir caite, nice and easy. So in the amsir caite, Coney, to live, becomes lived. So if you want to say, I lived in Dublin. And we're going to write in, how does it change? And do you remember? So it changes because we give it a H. And a H in Irish is called a sheoladh. And it's always the second letter. So that would become C-H-O-N-A-I-G-H. Honey. And honey now means lived. So lived. Níl an scríb north goman seo. Not great writing here. But honey means lived. So honey may, I lived, faoin tuatha, in the countryside. Honey may, in Orasan, I lived in an apartment. Honey may, sa Cahir, I lived in the city. So honey with the H is the amsir caite. Present tense then, Coney, in the present tense, is going to get a special ending. What is the ending? And the ending is going to be A, I, father, O-N-N. And we're going to take away the last syllable, so the ending of Coney, before we can add in another ending, or else it looks crazy and it wouldn't be right. So it becomes Conín. And that's what we were using to say where we live. So Conín May, I Doc Biog. I live in a small house. Conín May faoin tuatha. I live in the countryside. So Conín. And do you remember the future tense? So future tense, like the amsir lórach, tá deireadh leis, it has an ending. So it's O father, I-D-H. And if we have an ending, it means we're taking away an ending. So again, we're going to do the same as what we did with the present tense. And we're going to add C-O fada N to it. And that'll become Con O-E. And that means I will live. So Con O-hi me Fuin Tuha. I will live in the countryside. Con O-hi me I Gahar. I will live in the city. Con O-hi me I Malia Moor. I will live in a big town. Agus sin can you finish the sentences for me? Can you change the Amsher Kacha to I lived in a big blue house in the city. So sin Albert sa hain. Can you say Albert do? I live in an igloo in the countryside. So I live in an igloo in the countryside. And number 3, I will live in a tent in the countryside. So I will live in a tent in the countryside. So Jane clocked na haberty shin agus feici me sibh an work. I'll see you all tomorrow. Slán.